So let's get in to the first game of the Group B semifinals for Platinum Heroes 1. We start our match on New Repugnancy LE. In the bottom left-hand corner, in the blue, playing Protoss, it is Badyleqq. His opponent, in the top right, in the goldenrod, playing Terran, it is Invalid. Ooh, I thought that was going to be a forge for a minute, and I got real excited about this early probe coming across the map. But it looks like this is just a scouting probe for the Protoss player. Gas does go down for Invalid as well. So a pretty standard opening there for both players. We see the barracks on the high ground. One gas taken for our Terran player. One gas taken for our Protoss player. The Protoss, ooh, might get a little kill here. Get him, Probius. Get him! Probius going to give up on that target. And he's going to slow down the building of that barracks, but just by a little tick. And oh my god, did he get it? Oh man, let's look at the units lost tab. There it is, an eye for an eye. One SCV for one probe. Did slow down the building of that barracks just a little bit, but not enough to significantly influence anything that's going on. Invalid going to send his own SCV scout out and build, there it is, build his own expansion on the low ground. The Protoss expanding pretty early as well, actually. Expansion before Cybernetics Core, it looks like. Wow, yeah, expansion before Cybernetics Core. So an early expand there from Badyleqq, who must feel very comfortable after getting a pretty decent probe scout off and slowing down the building of that barracks by just a little bit. The first Reaper is going to pop out, but Invalid doesn't have it queued all the way across the map, just here on the high ground to protect himself. And there it is, we see a factory going down behind this. So Invalid with a 1-1 so far. First Stalker from Badyleqq getting chronoed out, which is an interesting choice to chrono out that first Stalker, presumably to protect against the Reaper. But of course, the Reaper not going to come across at any time. The Reaper, oh, there it is. Now the Reaper goes across. It was just defending at home for just a little bit. But Stargate going to be the tech of choice here for Badyleqq. Stargate in the natural, or in the main rather, pardon me, which is a very unusual build these days. Nice to see some Stargate action. Hopefully an Oracle can get some work done. That Stalker gets caught sleeping on the job, and that Reaper will in fact see what he is up against. He knows now that he's up against Stargate play. Going to see both of those gases taken, hop down onto the natural, and also see that it has been fairly well saturated with orders as well. Second Stalker pops out and will kill off that Reaper, but at the expense of learning that there is in fact a second Stalker out. Warp Gate research is not yet finished not yet started rather, for Invalid, or for Badyleqq rather, pardon me, there it is. Warp Gate research finally starts. I'm guessing he forgot about it briefly there, and does immediately begin to chrono out Warp Gate. Back home for our Terran player, it is a 1-1-1 build. With Barracks, Factory, and Starport. We see a Widow Mine popping out of that factory, and I'm going to guess after the Widow Mine finishes, we're going to see a swap over between the Starport and the factory. That would just be a guess, though. I'm not 100% sure. First Oracle on the way from Badyleqq. It'd be cute to see a Viking come out of that Starport. I will say that. But there's the swap over. So Cloaked Banshee could be in our futures. It's going to force the Protoss player to pick up a Robo facility. It's going to, oh, never mind, going for, there it is, Cloaked Banshee coming out, or Banshee coming out at least. The Oracle getting a couple kills in initially here. 3 kills so far, 4 kills as well. Going to hop up into the main where there should be a Widow Mine waiting for it, and that is one dead Oracle. 5 kills though, so not the worst in the world, but a nice pickup there by the Widow Mine. A smart play there by Invalid, who saw the Oracle coming from a mile away and correctly built something to defend against it. Now, there is no second Widow Mine, but there is a second Oracle. This Oracle builds up a little more energy, and then it is going to hop right into the natural as well to add on to this SCV kill count. 7 kills and possibly up to 8. Drives those Marines out of position, scouts out the Cloaked Banshee, and gets into the main as well, just as the Widow Mine reloads, and I think it's going to fly right in the Widow Mine range, and that Widow Mine with 2 kills is an absolute hero. 2 Oracles, 9 kills, not a terrible trade. The first Banshee coming across the map with a sick Banshee skin. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at it go. It's got little blades in there and everything. Oh, dope. All right. Cloak about 3/4 of the way finished. Third Nexus on the way now for Badyleqq. He's going to get not spotted yet by the Banshee, but the Banshee also not spotted either. We don't see any detection yet for our Protoss player, and this Banshee could do a whole heck of a lot of damage here. There's also no Oracles left to revelate it, so the Banshee going to be doing a whole bunch of work here. Cloak about 5 seconds away from finishing up. The Banshee gets pushed away, and there's a little bio attack right behind it. So it looks like Invalid going to pull this army out of position, scare it with the Banshee. The Banshee needs to cloak and come back in, and then, oh, nice, catching those Zealots as they try and come out. And now the big gateway army from Badyleqq is pulled out. Invalid pulls away just as his Banshee moves back into the mineral line and needs to attack the mineral line. Attack the mineral line. Never mind. A lot of damage there from Invalid, but the Badyleqq's army getting pulled in 2 different directions. You have Cloak! Use Cloak! There's no detection! Siege tank set up now on the back. Invalid kiting backward just a little bit. The siege tank getting some good shots off. Banshee going to swing around here to join its friends. It has Cloak and finally remembers that it has Cloak. Just as a shield battery goes down at the main, there's still no robo facility at all. We do see an Oracle getting chronoed out for that revelation, but it's going to be a while before it happens. And this Banshee could be getting so much work done. A nice little shade. Oh, not going to allow that shade to finish. And Invalid going to go ahead and move his tank up, continuing to move things across the map. He's got a Banshee and a couple more Marines coming, but the siege tank is set up now. Going to begin shelling down that pylon, depowering the shield battery, and Badyleqq finds himself in a whole heap of help and trouble here. Invalid with a Cloak Banshee moving forward, still absolutely no detection at all. Now there is not a lot of bio left here, so Invalid needs to cloak this other Banshee, and the 2 cloaked Banshees can get a lot of work done. There's the revelation on the Banshees. The Banshees need to get out, and this aggression has been quashed for now. There it is. Back home, we see a 3rd base finished up for Invalid. 3rd base finished up for Badyleqq. Zealot charge has just begun. +1 armor has just begun. +1 infantry weapons, but no armor just yet for Invalid. He certainly has the money for it. Now's the time. But he is also dropping a couple missile turrets just to be safe against that Stargate play. The Stargate is kicking out a 2nd Oracle to join the 1st one. And a lot more pylons being built to help Badyleqq overcome this pretty severe supply block that he's found himself in. Now, I don't know where those Banshees went. They're back home. They need to get repaired up just a little bit. That would be a cute move, but it's not happening. Siege tank way out here on the low ground. A little bit of a mispositioning there from Invalid. Not sure what that's supposed to be doing. 2nd Oracle, or 2nd Oracle here. Popping in, going to check for a 3rd base. Not going to see one there. Going to be pretty happy about that, but it's going to fly right into position here. And it looks like the Marine is going to catch it and kick it out. Unfortunately, it's also going to spot this siege tank, and that looks like free siege tank kill to me. That poor siege tank, I don't know what the heck it was doing out there, but those Oracles have definitely earned that kill. That was well worth it. 3rd base for Invalid now, a little bit more saturated than it was before with 9 workers. 12 workers on Badyleqq's 3rd base. They're about even in workers, about 4 different with mules. I think that's going to put the income a little bit in favor, of Badyleqq, our Terran player. We see our first move out here from Badyleqq. Our mules are not enough to save Invalid, our Terran player. There we go. Invalid coming down to the 3rd base. Still no detection. Still no Oracle. Still no nothing. Unbelievable. So we are going to see this Protoss force hit just about the same time the Banshees start to shell away at the mineral line. The Banshees cloaking plenty early and then moving in to this 3rd base just as the Protoss returns the favor on the other side of the map. Huge gateway army here with a lot of charge zealots and a couple of adepts with no glaive just yet. And Badyleqq is forced to evacuate this base, but the Banshees back home are doing a lot of damage as well. Invalid needs to control these Banshees a little bit better. He's going to try and shell down his Nexus for some reason. Seems like a waste of time, as his own army is getting carved up back home. Siege tank up on the high ground and a bunker, as well as a Widow Mine that is just shot, needs to recharge a little bit. But there it is. Look at this shade right on top of that tank. Is going to take out the tank. He's going to let that shade finish. The tank should go down. It'll take 3 Oracle shots to get that down. And now the bunker is forced to go down as well. All the SCVs pulled, but there's already a good surround on the bunker. The bunker does go down. The Banshees are still working hard on random buildings in Badyleqq's base, but Invalid is really struggling to go with his micro and his macro back home. We can see Badyleqq is now over 1,000 minerals. Need to warp in a couple more units here. But it looks like he doesn't have quite enough gateways to support that. The orbital command from the Natural forced to lift off. The 3rd is finally going back home as well to be repaired. But unfortunately, it looks like he is going to lose the Natural. And it looks like Badyleqq is going to head up the ramp and try and break down the wall here and take out the rest of the army. And there it is. Invalid going to get the GG well played. And game 1 is going to go to our Protoss player, Badyleqq. All right, guys, you know the drill. 2 minutes on the clock. Let's get these players back in for the next match. Invalid is going to have his choice of maps for game number 2, as he is the loser of the match. So as soon as he gets those map chosen, we will move on from there. So I'll be right back with you in a couple minutes, guys. Alright, gang, welcome back. We are on to match number 2 in Group B of Platinum Heroes 1. Let me take a second to get this match all set up. And we are in. Now, since Invalid lost game number 1, he has chosen the map choice. He has chosen to fight on Kairos Junction LE, and I can see why. We are just we're gonna skip the player intros and go straight to this cheeky SCV who is now streaming across the map. Now, Badyleqq has sent a very early probe scout across the map also, so he will know that something is up, and a very bold placement there for the initial proxy barracks. Badyleqq's HUD is red. Oh, that's something you can do. Probe, gonna see nothing. Invalid, you see nothing. And the probe immediately gonna be scouting out to see where on Earth he is proxied. And this probe looks to be heading straight for that proxy. Oh, maybe not quite. There it is, second probe, gonna catch the proxy immediately. So Badyleqq now knows where he is at. Sees that proxy. And in fact, not gonna be able to stop it, I don't think. The barracks will definitely finish. But now that SCV has been driven away and the probe is following it like a hawk, it won't be around. So yeah, there we go. Invalid, rather than making a Marine out of that, he is just going to go for the Reaper proxy. So more of a cute mind game than anything else, but Badyleqq already walling off. So the Reaper not going to be able to get anything done. Obviously, this is a poor map choice for Reaper proxy because the Reaper can't actually hop up into the main from this location here against Protoss, who wall it off quite easily. Wow, now that is bold. It is very bold to get scouted immediately and then try and build a factory right next to it. A good catch by that Zealot. Great RNG for Badyleqq, who was able to stop the building of that factory. Oh, and no micro back. Invalid's going to lose. Oh, no. Invalid loses the Reaper, loses the factory, and sends the barracks right into the main? Oh, this is so strange. Goodness gracious. Okay, so Invalid going to land this barracks, or just scout out the main, I suppose, with the barracks, building a factory back home, and has a second one queued up also. So Invalid trying to make the most out of a bad situation here, but a rough opening is going to make it very, very tough. Invalid has announced his strategy now. And Badyleqq is very happy about it. Wow. This is the kind of stuff that you don't see in the WCS, guys. This is why you're here. For these amazing plays. SCV repairs down that tech lab. Mag field accelerator does start here for the Cyclones. Second factory is up, and a starport right behind it as well. Scouting barracks for Invalid is going to see a pylon battery, pylons and shield batteries, as well as an expansion behind this. No expansion on the way for Invalid yet, who seems to be adding on more production. He's going to go one base, three factory starport. This looks like an amazing build, and I hope that like Beastie, Cutie, and Pig are paying attention. Gemini, if you're looking for a new build of the week, here it is, buddy. This is it. So one Cyclone is out. This Zealot scouting around for proxies everywhere. Has no idea what he's up against. He's like, there's got to be something, right? There's got to be something. There's not. There's 3 factories and a starport against everything the Protoss is doing pretty normally now. So we do see one Immortal on the way out. Going to go join its Gateway friends down with 2 shield batteries at the natural. Of course, he's walled off on the top here. So Warp Gate research about 3/4 of the way done here. Would not be surprised. Yeah, second Immortal popping out of the robo facility as well. I think with 2 or 3 Immortals by the time this mech push hits, Badyleqq, whatever his name is, should be in pretty good shape. Barrack's going to land back home. This Zealot will, actually, I believe the Zealot's going to catch this mech army on the way out. So a great scout there by the Zealot, who's given his life after 2 kills. Oh, that was the same Zealot, by the way, that cleaned up that factory, killed the Reaper and the probe, or the SCV building here earlier. So well done. Another Zealot for Badyleqq is all around the map here, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, sort of like the rest of us are. Here we go. 3 Hellions, 2 Cyclones, gonna bash up against what I imagine to be the unassailable rock wall of 2 shield batteries, 2 Immortals, and a whole handful of Stalkers and Zealots. So some nice initial damage there. Nothing picked off there for Badyleqq. But Invalid, yeah, can't be too happy about that. Raven out now for Invalid, but nothing else behind that. Still no second base. Invalid is going 1 base all in on 3 factories. You know, like you do. All right. Little Raven harass here. A couple auto turrets popping down behind the mineral line there. Should get, 1 or 2 probes. Or 3 or so probes. Okay, just 1 auto turret going down, so 3 probes getting killed. 4 probes, never mind. 5 probes, look at that. Not a bad little kill for the auto turret harass. But the rest of the mech army gonna head home after seeing the incredible defense here of Badyleqq. And the Raven, of course, trapped now in the corner. This is... oh, dear. So Badyleqq probably going to move out here pretty quickly. I think he's got to know that he's in a pretty good position. Although he would give up his defender's advantage. Okay, another auto turret harass here for 8 total kills. That's 10 probes down so far, so not a bad way to come back into it. Invalid finally starts his natural expansion here. And if Badyleqq doesn't capitalize in some way, either economically or aggressively, he's going to pay for it. Armory going down for Badyleqq back home. A good play when you're on finally 2 bases with a bunch of factories. Okay, a lot of Hellions here. We won't be ready to turn into Hellbats just yet, so we won't have to see that. But a very unusual push. Okay, the Gateway Army here is going to get caught. Charged Zealots immediately on top of all these Hellions, going to slice them up very, very badly. A couple Zealots for a couple Hellions, that's a great trade. It looks like one of the Cyclones is going to get picked off as well, and the Immortal Stalker army is going to continue. Oh, I thought it was going to continue forward. It's not going to continue forward. It's going to hang out in the middle of the map and wait for that Warp Prism to reinforce. Back home, we finally see a siege tank coming out for Badyleqq. There is one in the main, or in the natural rather, but Badyleqq, I don't know, man. Somebody in the chat was telling me it was Badyleqq. It doesn't matter. Whatever. He's awesome at StarCraft, and that's all we care about right now. 4 more Zealots warping in back home. They are going to run all the way across the map, though, as the Warp Prism comes as well. Back home, Badyleqq only has 1, 2, 3, 4 gateways, so I don't think... yeah, 4 gates. So it's not quite enough to really make an attack happen here. But the Warp Prism is going to warp in unassailed Now, these Warping In Zealots are going to take a little bit of damage, but the Charged Zealots are going to move forward here and immediately get on top of these tanks. Only one of the tanks is sieged up, house, so one goes down. The Immortals able to get some shots off on those tanks. The tank are completely down, and now I think Invalid has been broken. The Protoss army will roll him over. There is nothing left to defend as the Protoss army moves up the ramp. The gates are down. The tank is unsieged. The SCVs have been pulled, and these poor boys. Okay, the SCVs pick off a Zealot, so that's a pride for you at least. More Zealots getting warped in, and that is the game. Invalid GG's out, and Badyleqq is going to take game number 2 and go on to the grand finals.